The wheels of justice are still turning in a handful of courts around the country, albeit much slower than normal. Courts have been deemed an essential service and will continue to run at a limited capacity using remote technology, even as we move into the fourth alert level during the pandemic. Lawyers, defendants and even court reporters are still showing up for hearings as measures to combat Covid-19 ramp up, but things are far from normal. Our court reporter Anneke Smith has been in court today and she joins us now. Anneke, what is it like down in court now compared to any other day?
Courthouses are much quieter than normal at the moment, given these new court protocols. At criminal callover this morning, criminal callovers happen once a week in the High Court at Auckland every Wednesday, and it's normally teeming with lawyers and really busy. It was really quiet today as pretty much all but one lawyer dialed in via teleconference, and the defendants appeared via AVL audiovisual link from prisons. The court reporters that did show up to court today, we were all separated into separate parts of the courtroom. So this is going to be the new norm for courthouses for the inevitable future. Looking ahead, things were much slower running by AVL, and we're already seeing the impacts of these new protocols and adjournments. Justice Fitzgerald, who presided over today's court callover, said that trial dates for matters that came up today would have to be set down now, otherwise they may not actually be heard until the end of 2021. So it's hard to know just how much of an impact this will have on the justice system as a whole, but things will be significantly shifted. There will be a significant backlog because of the way things are running now.
So are they just dealing with urgent cases, or do all of those run-of-the-mill cases that you normally see, hundreds of them, are they dealing with them as well?
Yeah, so they're prioritising, they've stripped right back to just priority proceedings. So those are those that affect liberty of their individual, personal safety and well-being, and matters in which resolution is time critical. So courts have been deemed as an essential service. They'll keep running even as we go into the fourth alert level, but things will be very, very different. Jury trials have been suspended for 2 months, coronial inquests are not going ahead, and even sentencing hearings, so the last step in a case process, have been adjourned. We're supposed to have a big sentencing for a high-profile case today. That was adjourned off, so the victim's family in that matter, their whānau will have to wait for longer to see the resolution in that case. One case that will be in many people's minds is the terror trial in Christchurch in June. Now, as far as we've been told, it's still going ahead as normal, but obviously this is a really fast changing situation, and it's hard to see that far ahead exactly what things will look like in June. So we'll keep everyone posted as we get any updates on that particular case.
And what is the situation with prisons?
Prisons have been in effective lockdown since midnight Monday, banning or temporarily suspending visits and non-essential movements around the 19 prisons in the country. There are currently no COVID-19 cases, and corrections will really be hoping that it stays that way. About 34% of the prison population, we're told, is currently double bunked, and in a typically sort of confined space, there are obvious difficulties in prisoners following social distancing advice that we all are. Corrections says it's encouraging inmates to maintain a 2-metre distance from each other, as well as washing their hands, coughing into elbows and talking to staff if they're unwell. It says the prison actually has really good facilities to isolate inmates who start to display COVID-19 symptoms, and they're now managing new prisoners by effectively isolating them for 14 days when they come in. And obviously prisoners over 17 years old and those vulnerable with underlying health conditions are being managed separately to the general population.
And how is the legal community reacting to all of this?
Lawyers seem to be taking it in their stride for the most part. We had a number of lawyers dial into the call over this morning, and things are pretty much as normal, although it is a bit strange to hear lawyers and not see them. I did speak to the president of the Criminal Bar Association, Len Anderson, this afternoon, and he said that it's disruptive but a really necessary step for the health of all court participants. He said one worry that lawyers have, or something that is weighing on their minds now, is they'd really like police not to make any arrests that aren't absolutely essential. Of course, if someone's arrested, they have to go to court, and thus starts this process of lawyers having to go to court. And I guess the worry is that if someone goes to court, it increases the risk with contact and things. So they're just hoping that the system will slow down as much as possible, so the caseload will slow down. That's their main concern, but for the most part, they're just adapting. Technology is the new norm.
Thank you for that update. That is our court reporter, Anneke Smith.